All right, welcome to the Collector Car Podcast. This is a big week coming up in Florida. Not only do we have the Sotheby sale in Miami, but we also have Broad Arrow as well as Gooding Christie's in Amelia. So I'm going to review approximately 5 cars per each. These are cars that piqued my interest for one reason or another, whether it's a little insight into the market as far as what they're going to sell for, or just cool cars you don't see all the time. Obviously, I'll hit some of the big hitters as well, because it's always cool to see what are the big heavy dollar, high valuation cars that are coming to sale. So my goal after the sale is to do a podcast update with hopefully a guest expert and kind of pick 5 cars each as far as ones that we think were interesting as far as what they brought, whether they overperformed or underperformed, to maybe give a little bit of an insight as far as what's going on in the marketplace right now. So stay tuned for that. That will be in a week or two after Amelia Island. So if you're going to be down there, either in Miami or Amelia, let me know, because I will be at both, running around, doing some interviews and having a good time. Now for a quick book update. Everything's going really, really well. My plan is for all of you who have already ordered the book to mail them out the week of May the 1st. So that has not been published yet. That was a pre-order, but it is right on track. So I'm expecting to have the books hopefully in hand by the end of April, and I will mail those out as soon as I get them. Now, it's becoming a bigger book than I originally thought. I thought it would have been around 200 pages, but looks like it's going to be closer to 275 pages. So it's going to be full of great information, a lot of pictures, probably about 100 pictures, mostly from Sotheby. So it's super high quality pictures, identifying the cars that I'm talking about by each of the different eras that I'm covering. So those will be in the mail as soon as I get them. Literally, they show up and they're out the door. I will hopefully do an unboxing video, so as soon as I see them in person, you can check it out on one of my live streams and open the box with me, see the books for the first time with me as well. So as always, thanks for your support. If you would like to order one of these books, just go to the collectorcarpodcast.com and you'll see a link there in which to do so. So as always, thank you for the support. Speaking of support, please listen to my sponsors, as none of this could happen without them.
Every car in your garage tells a story: where it's been, how it's been maintained, and what makes it truly yours. Carport gives you a simple digital garage to document, organize, and manage your vehicles all in one place. Track service history, store important records, and keep your collection dialed in with confidence. From your daily driver to your dream car, Carport keeps everything in order so you're always ready for the road. And best of all, it's free to use and it's 100% private. To learn more, go to carport.app.
Every garage is a mirror of the mind that builds it. The garage becomes a quiet dialogue between who you are and what you craft. A garage is where work becomes meditation and solace, where mechanical truth becomes mental clarity. Some people go to offices, some go to mountains, others go to garages. At Metron Garage, we build for people who do all three. Give us a call to get started.
If you own a collector car, you already know it deserves more than a standard insurance policy. NCM Insurance specializes in agreed value coverage designed specifically for classic, collector, and enthusiast vehicles. From weekend drivers to serious collectors, they understand how these cars are used, stored, and protected. To learn more about protecting your collector car the right way, visit ncminsurance.com. Coverage built for the cars you care about.
Imagine a journey so rare it only happened once. That's the spirit behind Once. Exclusive, one-time only adventures that will never be repeated. Our next experience, American Muscle Legends, takes you trackside with the most iconic cars in history, complemented by luxury accommodations and behind-the-scenes access you simply can't buy. Spots are limited. When it's gone, it's gone. You can learn more at discoveronce.com/muscle.
All right, let's kick it off with Gooding Christie. So the first one I have here is a basket case, which is interesting that I'm kicking this off with a basket case, but it is a really cool Ferrari, estimates 900 to 1.2. This is a 1951 Ferrari 342 America Coupe. Now, coachwork by Ghia. Now, there's a lot of reasons why this one has such a big price point. When you see the pictures, it is in really rough shape. The front bumper's dented in, the hood's askew, there's surface rust all over it. It just looks like it's covered in bird poop. But a lot of cool stuff about it. The first of only 7 Ferrari 342 Americas built between 1951 and 1953. One of only 36 Ferraris and the Soul 342 bodied by Ghia, and it was displayed at the Paris and London Motor Show in October of 1951. First owned by British industrialist David Brown, owner of Aston Martin Lagonda. Now, this is an ideal project for Ferrari, like I said, never before restored, exhibited, or offered for public sale. And there's a lot of really cool period pictures, not only back to when it was new, but back to when it was sold in the past with, I believe it's David Brown in the picture with his family as well. So this is powered by a Tipo single overhead cam V12 engine, 4-speed manual gearbox, 4-wheel hydraulic drum brakes. Very, very cool car, but needs a lot of work. Needs to go directly into the restoration shop. All right, next is a car I don't think is on anyone's radar, and the estimate bears it out. Only $175,000 to $225,000 offered without reserve. This is a 2007 Chevrolet Corvette Pratt & Miller C6 RS. Now, one of just 7 C6 RS examples constructed. It's the only one in red, displaying just over 14,000 miles when cataloged. Features hand-laid carbon fiber body panels and incredible performance figures. So I really like this car, and like I said, I think it's really under people's radar screens. A lot of folks don't know about it, and I do know where there's 2 others. One of them is a black one in Jay Leno's garage. And then I know a collector that also has another, I believe it's another one of the black ones. A yellow one recently sold publicly, but I think that one has some sort of issue with it. I can't remember if it was a replacement engine or what. But this is one that any Corvette owner should have if they can grab one. Like I said, there's only 7. So go to Amelia Island and be sure to check this one out. All right, next is another big Ferrari. This is a 1955 Ferrari 750 Monza. Coachwork by Scaglietti. Now, this is $3.5 to $4.5 million. And no, this is not the biggest Ferrari that Gooding Christie's is selling at Amelia. This is Ferrari's first big bore 4-cylinder Lampredi Sports Racer, delivered new to an Italian race car driver, raced in 1955 as well as in California in 1956 to 1957. Has been through some noted collectors' garages, including Briggs Cunningham back in the day. Among few 750 Monzas remaining in largely unrestored condition. So this is an iconic one. When you see these, if you're a serious Ferrari collector, you need to snatch them up. I am curious about this one because most of the Ferraris of the 1950s and the 1960s have been declining in value. So I picked this one because I was curious to see what is it going to do. All right, like I said, there's big Ferraris and then there's really big Ferraris. And this next one is the biggest sale item for the entire weekend or for the entire week in Florida. The 1960 Ferrari 250 GT short wheelbase California Spider. Now, if I had all the money in the world, this would be my dream car, either the short wheelbase or the long wheelbase. There's quite a discount, and you'll see here in a little bit from RM Sotheby's. They have a long wheelbase version, and the estimates are significantly different. The estimate on this one is $16 to $18 million, so you're talking about a big dollar car here. This one's pretty cool because it has not only the covered headlights, which is super sexy, but it also has the side vents, which is a must-have for me. And this one has a rare factory hardtop, which it actually looks pretty good with the hardtop on it. So a fixture in just 2 West Coast collections since 1976. So this is your chance to own one of these. And this one has a Pebble Beach restoration done on it. So Ferrari Classic A, all sorts of great stuff. Stunning, absolutely incredible car. When I tell people this is my dream car, they're like, well, have you ever driven one? I'm like, well, no. And apparently the seats don't move much and they drive like a truck. But then I talked to someone else recently and he said they're fabulous drivers. So if you have one of these and want to let me drive it for a weekend, please let me know. You know where to reach me. All right, the last one from Gooding Christie's is a 1966 Ford Mustang. You know I love my Mustangs, but this one's by Revology, and I'm interested about this one to see how it performs. We've seen Singers resell on the marketplace. We don't see many Revology cars, and this one's offered without a reserve, so the estimate's $175,000 to $250,000. It's 1966 fastback. It looks like it's poppy red, which is kind of an orange color, but it actually said it's signal flare red, which surprised me. But basically, this is a brand new Mustang, but with new amenities and safeties and power brakes and everything you want in a new car, basically. You've got cruise control, all sorts of great stuff, four-wheel disc brakes. I would love to put one of these in my garage, but not for that kind of money. So I'm very curious to see what this one sells for at no reserve. All right, it's time to move over to Broad Arrow. So Broad Arrow is at the Ritz-Carlton. I'm not sure if I'll get a chance to see it or not. I would like to walk around the grounds. We will see. But they have 5 cars that I think are pretty interesting. The first one is their big car for the sale, a 1972 Lamborghini Miura P400, but very, very special in the fact that it is an SV. So a largely original, unmodified, and unrestored SV. Wow, with less than 18,300 miles from new. And this is a dark blue. I haven't seen the interior yet. Looks like it might be black interior, but nicely presented. Retained by a private Texas-based enthusiast for more than half a century. Stunningly preserved with its original factory-installed interior intact. Top of the line, fully evolved Miura SV. Arguably the most collectible Lamborghini model of all time. Retains its factory-installed matching numbers engine, original numbered bodywork, and chassis. One of just 13 desired split-sump U.S. market examples with factory air conditioning. So very, very cool. Most people consider this the very first supercar. So we will see what that one does. They have been pretty hot lately. Now the estimate, if I didn't mention it before, is $3.5 to $4 million. All right, next is a car that I'm in love with. I was not aware of this car until Monterey this last year with Sotheby's. They had one. This is a 1996 Nissan Nismo 400R. Now the estimate on this one is $900 to $1.1 million. I love the R32s, R33s, R34s. And if you could have the absolute ultimate version, then why not? So this is the 8th of just 44 Nismo 400Rs produced, in one of only a handful in the United States. Now, the one Sotheby's had in Monterey sold for, I think, just a hair under $1 million. I want to say it was $990 all in. This is equipped with comprehensive selection of Nissan Motorsports Nismo offerings, including a bespoke aero kit, carbon fiber bodywork, and GT1 wheels. Now, it is powered by a Le Mans-derived turbocharged straight-six engine built by Renick, Nissan's endurance racing engine builder. So you would call that a factory optioned engine. Very, very rare. Among the rarest and most desirable GTRs ever produced. So I'm curious to see what this does. The estimate, I think, is spot on. I would guess it's going to sell somewhere in the middle of that estimate, but we will see. All right, the next one I picked, I'm very interested to see what happens to this one. I know a little bit more about this one than other cars. It's a 1935 Auburn 851 supercharged, quote-unquote, boat-tail speedster. Now, this one's interesting because the estimate is $650,000 to $850,000, but it is offered at no reserve. So it will be interesting to see what this one sells for. The 62nd of just 143 original 851 speedsters built, beautifully presented in period-appropriate light ivory over tan leather. Now it has CCCA Full Classic eligible for a host of Concours and driving events. Let's see, I had a Concours restoration by the Auburn Cord Duesenberg Company, and it received AACA Junior National First Prize achieved in 2023, Senior Grand National First Prize in 2025. Now that is when I did see this car in person. It was at the AAC Grand National meet in Dayton, Ohio at the Air Force Museum. It's an absolutely stunning car. So this will be an interesting one to see. I don't know that I would recommend someone sell a car at no reserve if it's a car from the 1930s, 40s, or 50s, unless it's something like a Gullwing, something where you know what these commodities are worth nowadays. I think all the boat-tail speedsters are a little iffy right now just because of the generational shift. So we will see if it hits the low estimate of $650,000. All right, another one I picked from Broad Arrow is this 2022 Ferrari SF90 Stradale 10th Anniversary Cavalcade Collection. I picked this one for numerous reasons. The first off, SF90s in general are flat in the marketplace, so I'm curious to see how this one performs. The estimate is $525 to $625, offered without reserve. So it has the special edition 10th Anniversary Cavalcade Collection, originally limited to clients who participated in the Ferrari Cavalcade. So I'm curious to see what this does, not just as an SF90 Stradale, but also if this particular limited edition package makes any difference in the price. All right, and lastly for Broad Arrow, I have the 2006 Mercedes-Benz CLK DTM AMG Cabriolet. Now this is kind of like a Hot Wheel. I mean, it's just a crazy car. One of 80 examples produced to celebrate Mercedes' 2003 DTM Championship victory, recently serviced by Mercedes-Benz Classic Center. Aggressively styled DTM-inspired design with carbon fiber body panels, rear wing, staggered 19 and 20-inch AMG multi-piece wheels housing large ceramic brakes. One of just only a handful in the United States, offered with just under 5,500 miles at time of cataloging, finished in silver. Now these things, they kind of look like a Hot Wheels. I mean, they have the flared fender, they have the big wing on the back. They're just kind of bonkers. And the fact that it is a Mercedes, I just love that. So I would love to own one of these. I heard they're horrible to drive, super rough on the road. The estimate on this one's $550,000 to $650,000. We will see, but this is one I would go after if I won $1 billion in the lottery. All right, and lastly, we're going to end with RM Sotheby's. Now, Bonhams is not at Amelia Island this year. They've actually transitioned their Florida sale to the Miami Formula One race. So we are closing with RM Sotheby's, which is this coming weekend. It's a week prior to Gooding and Broad Arrow. And the first one I'm pulling up is the big one of the auction, or the second biggest, maybe tied. I don't know. We'll see here in a second. 1959 Ferrari 250 GT long wheelbase California Spider. Estimate $6.5 to $7.5 million. Like I said, there's a big price point difference between the long wheelbase and the short wheelbase. In this case, it's about $10 million. But that other car from Gooding Christie's had a couple other special things going on for it. So this is the rarest and most comfortable driving version of the covered headlight California Spider. You get a little bit more legroom with that long wheelbase. One of 30 steel bodies examples with covered headlights, the 28th of 50 total long wheelbase examples. Matching number engine has the covered headlights. It's won Platino Award at Cavallino. It's winner of the Pebble Beach Concord Elegance Struthers McMinn Most Elegant Sports Trophy, offered from 19 years of fastidious care by a 3-time Pebble Beach Best of Show winner. This is one I would love to drive. Again, gorgeous. Black on black would not be my colors of choice, but it does look really, really nice. All right, next is a 2024 Bugatti Bolide, $4.8 to $5.5 million. One of just 40 examples of the track-only Bolide built. Striking livery of blue royal tinted carbon fiber in agile blue over Bugatti light blue and lake blue interior. Wow, that's a mouthful. So you have 4 blues going on here. Features the final evolution of Bugatti's quad-turbo W16, producing an astounding 1,578 horsepower, capable of 0 to 60 miles per hour in 2.2 seconds, with a 236 mile per hour top speed. Offered from single ownership, I would hope so. It's only 2 years old and displaying 77 factory test miles at the time of cataloging. Now, I picked this one because I believe this is the only one that's come publicly for sale. There was one either with Bonhams or Gooding last year that came up for sale, but then it never showed up at the actual auction. So I'm not quite sure what happened there. So I'm curious to see what the price is on this hypercar. All right, the next one's one of my favorite cars. 1991 Isdera Imperator 108i Series 2. Now, you might be like, what the heck is this thing? Well, I say call it, these sometimes have a Mercedes badge on the nose, but it's a sleek, Sid Mead, futuristic type of gull-wing car. It is just so cool, and it has the side exhaust integrated into the bodywork. It is such a cool car. Now, the estimate on this one, $650,000 to $850,000. A stunning expression of late 20th century wedge design, powered by a potent mid-mounted Mercedes-Benz V8 engine, believed to be one of 13 Series 2 examples, and reported to be one of just 5 factory-built as left-hand drive. So this is one of 5 that I would actually enjoy driving. Delivered new to Japan and has recently been serviced and inspected by Canepa. So just a really cool, wild, wicked, crazy thing. Like I said, 1991. And so, this could qualify for Radwood and blow everybody's mind when you pull up in it. All right, 2 more to go. All right, here's the big dog for the Miami sale for RM Sotheby's. 1967 Ford GT40 Mark I, $6.5 to $8 million. One of just 31 Mark I examples specified as road cars. The GT40 famously shown in front and center at a Slog factory photo, originally shipped to Dearborn, Michigan for Ford publicity use in December of 1966, prominently featured in the famous Tasca Ford dealership photo alongside the 429 Cobra Jet prototype. Powered by Ford's legendary 289 high-performance V8 featuring original Sandcast Weber carburetors, backed by 5-speed ZF transaxle. Known ownership chain from new, recorded history in the SAAC World Registry of Cobras and GT40s, 4th edition. So this is the real deal. And lastly, we have to finish on something rare and unique and cool with a pretty color. How about a 1994 Lamborghini Diablo SE30? Estimate is $1.3 to $1.6 million. Now, this is very, very cool, very rare spec. German delivered example imported to the U.S. from Japan in 2023. Wow, this thing has traveled the world. It has approximately $57,000 of recent mechanical and cosmetic work with minimal mileage since, showing just under 13 kilometers from new, believed to be original. Presented in factory-correct viola over blue Alcantara interior, one of only 150 examples produced, among the most sought-after Diablo specifications due to its increased power and performance. Again, $1.3 to $1.6 million.